Will, I'm going to come to you on my position. Obviously, we know Brian Robinson. We're that's what we can. That's as certain as we can get is Brian Robinson staying. Gibson most likely out. They just drafted Rodriguez last year, so for all intents and purposes, he's most likely staying here. Another one on that list that we brought up, Alex Arma, the fullback, somebody that you talked about last year. What do you do with this? Do you
no idea.
Elsewhere, or?
With Alex Arma, I have no idea because I have no idea if this current scheme is going to want to use a fullback. Now, don't forget, Anthony Lynn is coming from San Francisco, where they do start a fullback in Kyle Juszczyk. So there could be some value there, but yeah, I don't know about when it comes to Alex Arma, nor do I think that's too much of a roster concern. But it will be interesting to see what happens with Antonio Gibson. I think we all can say he showed a whole lot of promise his rookie year. It's kind of the theme of Ron Rivera's time. Promise in the rookie year, and then nothing much more after that. Is it something where this staff could look at it and say, we can, he's a weapon. We can find a way to utilize this weapon. Now that you don't have Curtis Samuel, can he do some of those things that Curtis Samuel did a la Deebo Samuel, that type of thing? So could they see that role for him? Or do they say we need to move on? And, from a price standpoint, it may not be worth paying him multi-million dollars a year to be part of a running back tandem. You said it, Brian Robinson is certainly a guy that can be your 1, 2, maybe even 3 downs. He's worked on his pass catching because he wants to be the everyday back. He wants to be the every down back. So you got that. Rodriguez is certainly a bruiser behind him. So now you need a change of pace. And I think the best way to actually find that would be to go through the draft later on in, 4th, 5th, or later to get somebody who is a different type of runner. This guy would probably be picked up sooner, but you and Ab, got me onto Bucky Irving from Oregon, as a speedster. I saw the name Jalen Wright from Tennessee. He certainly seems to have a whole lot of burst on him. May not have been as productive at Tennessee, but he's got the ability behind there. And then I've seen from TCU, I think his name is Amani Bailey. He's got some burn to him. And so that would be a different, more of like a pass catching type running back coming out of college that could help us out.
Yeah. No, Bucky Irvin is definitely one of the guys that has caught my eye watching what's it called? Oregon in the Pac-12. And another one, Dylan Johnson. I believe he's a junior. I think he's coming out. He was the Washington Huskies running back. So between that and then maybe you get a Blake Corum, maybe you get some of these guys. I think the draft at running back is going to be very rich. I think we can get some guys where we won't have to spend up to get them. But I also want to look at in free agency. And again, we don't know if these guys will get picked up or not. But somebody that I think had a resurgence this year, Devin Singletary. You talk about a change of pace, somebody that can do run and also receive. I think that would be a nice little solid change of pace for Brian Robinson, to where that will open up Brian Robinson to start being able to do other things. Maybe, be catching the ball in the backfield or have maybe a misdirection, things of that nature. And I think that's something that we're going to need I know Brian Robinson wants to be an every down back, but I do think one of the things that's huge nowadays is making sure that you can save the shelf life of your back. You know what I mean? Gone are the days where Derrick Henry, where you have one guy, 450 carries, he's your bell cow. You know what I mean? You need a 2-headed monster in that back. You need a 2-headed monster in that backfield that can give one a breather, give the other a breather, thunder and lightning, if you will, you know what I mean? So that's somewhere where I would be interested in looking at potentially, just in the same way we're talking about with quarterback, where you want experience. That's just kind of where I would want a little bit of experience as well.
Yeah, very good point. Dun, 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 dun.
Let's go. The Washington Commanders. There it is.